Yo guys, life is hard. Life is hard either way. See, that illusion of easy. That's what's keeping a lot of people bound. That's what's keeping you bound, thinking there's an easy. There's no part of life that is easy. Every aspect, the whole sphere of life is hard. When I got this mindset a couple of years back, probably the mindset wasn't well grounded then. But then I just looked at life. I saw some individuals while coming back from school, and it just dawned on me that life is hard either ways. For everybody that you see along life journey, they're a result of the hard they chose. Along life journey, along life path, there's always going to be hardship. So the only difference is it's either the hardship is serving your purpose, or enslaving you and not allowing you to bring your light on, not allowing you to shine. So there are just two ways to this. You just have to choose. There's no in between. The heart of discipline, the heart of regret. Which are you gonna go for? The heart of discipline, the waking up early in the morning, waking up early, putting in the work, staying up late at night, building brick by brick, even when you don't want to, not taking the excuse of you don't feel like, because if you're always gonna work only when you feel like, then you might end up not working most of the time, because most of the time our body don't feel like doing anything. You just want to sit down, relax, lie down, sleep, eat, and all of those things. But then knowing that life is hard, keeping those appointments with yourself, because if you say you're gonna do a thing, then you keep into it. Many a times it is we put in every effort to see that the appointments that we create with other people are met. So if we have an appointment with our friends, with our colleagues, with our bosses, with our family members, we try to see to it that those appointments are kept. But when it comes to yourself, to ourselves, we're like, nah, I can do it later, I can do it tomorrow, I can. You just let it be. So you said, I'm gonna be all locked in during the weekends, and then there you are, being all locked out, being all out there, partying, not studying, not putting the work in. You see, that is taking the route, the heart of regret. That's you getting enslaved. So unless you decide to take life as it is, which is it's hard. Life works on just one principle, on one law. Whatever you sow, you reap. So if you sow in those hours, you're gonna reap multiple of them. Maybe 100 folds, maybe 10 folds, maybe 1,000 folds. But then you're gonna reap bountifully. But then if you're not putting in those hours, don't expect anything more. Alright. I've been seeing all over online the last quarter of the year, the great lock in, and all of those things. You won't be able to lock in if you don't keep this appointment yourself. You take it as a point of duty. Like, be so hard on yourself that if you're skipping any appointment yourself, you doubling the next appointment, because you have to stick to the plan. Because life is hard either ways, and you want to actually live on your purpose. You don't want after some decades you come out and be like, oh, I wished I had, and all of those things. You know, there's a rate of growth, and that rate of growth comes with consistency and commitment. Staying on the heart of discipline, you have to stay committed to the goal. Saying no to distractions, even though it's easier to just give in. Looking through your window and then just feeling like, oh, let me just go out here, let me just play. One of my lecturers said something, um, all play, okay, all play, I can't remember that stuff. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Yeah, in this context, because Jack is not ready to grind. Jack's dream is not big enough to scare him. Because if your dreams are big enough to scare you, then you know that You have to just work. There are going to be time. There's going to be a time to play, but it's not now, right? There's going to be a time to do all of those other stuff, but it's not now because there's time for everything. There's a time to grind. There's a time to stay locked in, and that time is now. That time is now. There's also the heart of regret, which might look like the easier route at the moment. But if you're working on your purpose, then you should have noted already that you are not here for instant gratification. You're not here to just satisfy yourself in the moment. You want to actually live a life that you can look back to and say, yeah. I remember when I was putting in this 12 hours. Oh yeah, this is the result. So when someone comes to meet you and say, how did you get here? You have a script to tell them, a while back, about 10 years ago, about 20 years ago, I was always staying on the grind. I was always putting in the hours. Because if you don't put in the hours, then when opportunity comes, you're not ready. It is very important that when opportunity comes, it makes you prepared. But you see, if you don't put in the hours, then you're going to have a heart of regret because you won't be able to show up for those opportunities. Because when these opportunities come, they're going to meet you unprepared. And it might take another lifetime for those opportunities to present themselves again. So you're going to be missing on opportunities. If you're having fear of showing up because you're not prepared also, so you're also missing out on more opportunities because the more you show yourself out there, the more advantage you get and all of those things. And they have the weight of what if. That is so painful. I always pray and hope that I don't have to look back after living for a couple of decades and I have to look back and say, oh, what if I worked a little bit more? What if I stayed up awake a little bit longer? What if I actually stick to the grind? What if I said no? Because the girls keep on saying yes to everything. Oh, let's go party. Yes. Let's go drink. Yes. What happened to no? But yeah, we all have a choice to make. We all have a choice to make. The catch is you might not be able to choose whether life is hard. But then you have the choice to choose the kind of hard you carry. Do you get me? You get a choice to choose that. Because after those decades, after living so much on earth, after when all have been said and done, there's going to be a time to reap. And it's whatsoever you're putting in right now that you're going to reap. So at those moments, people are going to be playing because they're putting the work. And then if you're not putting in the work, you're going to have to keep on working, which is hard. Harder. The hard of regret is harder than the hard of discipline. It might look like it is easy right now, but it's not. Sleeping more and all of those things, it is not. Choose your hard. Stay focused. Stay on it. Guide your light. Allow it to shine. When your light shines, it's going to be all over. Everyone can see you. And then now you can move. Now you can decide to rest. Now you can decide to play in here and there. Right? So choose your heart. Choose your heart. Peace.